I wish they would get off the telephone lines because I think my internet's going to play about a little bit tonight. Surprise, surprise.
Who knows? Here, listen. I got this thing done. Would you see this thing? It's very sophisticated, Mark. What do you think? Is Mark Kerr's in already? Even all very sophisticated. That it's all reverse.
That's one of those where you turn the lights down. Come on,
I better not turn the lights down because if I turn the lights down, this happens. I go dark.
Should be the worst thing in the world, to be fair. I should tear down a wee bit.
Yeah, what a show we've got lined up for you tonight. I can tell you that much. It's a
bit of a change. A bit of a change tonight, isn't there, Justin?
It is. It's Justin takeover evening, I think, tonight. So we'll see how that goes. Because I got to pick my top 10 best moments of the past year. Because we can do what we like. It's our show, and
we can do. Sorry, Mark Zuckerberg. We can't do what we like because we've got Zuckerberg to kicked off.
Yeah, we might do. Darren Barney Milligan saying evening. Michael Matthews is saying hello. Julie Mason is saying hello. Yeah, Julie, we've got a special coming up, don't we? And Julie isn't too happy about the special, is she, Morty?
No, we've got a special coming up because next Friday is International Tennessee Whiskey Day, and we're going to be interviewing the Tennessee Whiskey Guild, but it has to be early in the day because, and Julie's a bit peeved because it's. And she's not across from me. She's across from you. She's across from you, Justin. She's not across from me.
I know. There's not a lot we can do, but it's so that it goes out at a nice time in Europe and a nice time in America because we're having difficulties because we've got another great guest lined up, but they're in Japan, and either we have to get up early, which is a no for me, or we'll have to stay up all night. Remember, if you're watching, comment, like, and share. Happy Saturday, chaps. Thank you for that, James and Moira Doherty. Yes, it's very polished magic. That's what we call that intro. We'll call it the polished magic stab. That's what we'll call it.
Oh, yes. You're just a smooth operator, Justin.
I didn't do it. I can't claim credit for it, so I didn't do it. I should say I did do it because it's all right because the person doesn't know credit.
I know for a fact that I definitely didn't do it because I wouldn't have a clue where to start.
I know. There you go. Shane Foley saying hello. Eric Van de Enya, too sophisticated for the Belgians. Yeah. Where's the chocolates, Eric? Where's the chocolates?
Get the beer right.
And what else have we got? William McClanahan saying hello today. I thought I seen your car in Larne today, William. Did I see your car in Larne, or was it somebody else with a very nice shooting break? I don't know whether it was you or not. I thought it was. Wasn't sure. Vic Cameron saying hello. Good evening. There's Vic. Yeah, definitely one of our top guests of the year. But we've got too many of them to single them out. So the guests feature heavily tonight in my top 10. One guest in particular features extra special.
I'll find out, I'm sure, but
you'll find out. John Strand, your second favorite Swede is here. Who's our first favorite Swede?
Robert's our favorite.
Right. I thought you had a tall blonde from Sweden somewhere, called My Name is Anna from Sweden. That's from what is that from Trading Places or something like that there, which was quite good.
What was the other one? There was the one on Splash. Do you remember whenever John Candy pretended all the Swedish he knew was from porn films? He was brilliant.
We'll be getting Zuckerberg. Dave Cummins is saying hello. Connor is saying hello. Julie Mason is saying I'm not happy working during the day. Linda Cox is saying hello. Hello to you as well.
Hey, folks.
Keith McCann is saying World Whiskey Day. Happy World Whiskey Day to you. And World Cocktail Day has just gone past, but more of that later. Connor Ryan is saying, evening all. William is saying, no, it wasn't him. It's as well I didn't flash her, did you? Because you'd have thought, who's this weirdo? Well, you wouldn't have. The person would have thought. And they would have been right.
Quite correct.
James K is saying, evening, gents. Remember, if you're watching, comment, like, and share. Tell your friends. Say hello. And you never know, because there's no competition tonight. It won't make any difference. But Peter McCabe is saying, any special anniversary headgear tonight? No, there isn't. There's no special hat.
Do you not have the deerstalkers lying about anywhere?
No, I don't. Or the Ulster overcoat. We don't have any special anniversary, but we actually do have an anniversary hat here. But we'll put it on my head. There it is. There. Look at that. There. Does it stay there? There you go. We'll be getting the candles out later. Oh, there's a piece of mint in my head. Look at that. There. I'm maybe giving the game. Maybe giving the game away already.
No.
But there we go. No, action-packed show tonight. But we have to do the news first, Murray, don't we? Still, because we're sticking to format, and we're sticking to format ish. And no, there's no anniversary headgear, unfortunately. But Marty, shall I hit the button?
Hit the button, Justin.
Absolutely. You're not far wrong there, Frank. It is a World Whiskey Day, and that's the first thing tonight.
It's World Whiskey Day. So, yeah. Now, I know that a lot of us don't go mad for any of these sort of special days and all this kind of thing, but it's World Whiskey Day. And there's a whole range of events, but don't be turning over, by the way. There's lots of events and you can get involved with all this kind of thing. I think you can still buy tickets. And it started back in 2012, so it's a fairly recent thing, by a guy called Blair Bowman. Now, it's owned by White Light Media, and as two official ambassadors, Ali Mathers and Joe Kent. So there's any of this stuff to try and raise awareness and get people to drink whiskey and quality spirits and flavorful spirits.
It's a good thing.
Yeah. So although we don't necessarily take it too seriously, we do have to take it a little bit seriously, Justin, because it's our 1 year anniversary.
It is. It is indeed. Yeah.
It was this day last year we started doing the show.
Who would have thought it would have lasted this long?
No, not me for a start. But it's been by light and quick, and we'll get back to that. That's our first story tonight. Is the fact that it's World Whiskey Day and our first anniversary. So yeah, there'll be more on this to come.
All right, very good, very good. Yes, have you done anything special for it, Marty?
No. What I've done is I've spent the last 3 hours cooking stuff up because of you. Right? See that strength? I opened the bottle, poured it in. That was it. The job done. I've spent 2 bloody hours at your best.
I know it is. Well, Ron Swanson will maybe save the day.
Rod Swanson saves the day. Now, anybody who's watched Parks and Recreations will know who Ron Swanson is. And all it's a hilarious show, American show. It's very, very funny. As I say, I don't tend to watch much other than Only Fools and Horses and The Chase, but I did watch Parks and Recreation. It's very funny. And all he drinks and is Lagavulin. So there was an advert this week about Nick Offerman, who's the guy who plays Ron Swanson. And it's about a new collaboration between him, not the character, between him and Lagavulin. So you going to play it, Justin?
Yep. I am going to play it. when we get the right link, because it's age protected, and we obviously are age protected as well. You have to be over 18 to like it. It's not made for children, any of these videos. So here we go. Oh, that's the wrong one. Where do we find it? Where do we find it? I can't find it. I can't find it. Talk there while I find it, Mark.
Yes, Ron Swanson in Parks and Recreations. He basically not to cast aspersions on the good people of the US of A, but he's the most sort of quintessential American. Most people who aren't from the US have like three versions of people from the US, right? Man, one, the sort of brash, money-orientated New Yorker. Two, the sort of hippie West Coast surfer dude. And three, all the ones in the middle who all have guns, shoot stuff all the time, and like bury their gold in the front garden so the federal government doesn't come and take it. That's how we see it. Okay, they're all stereotypes, but that's nonetheless. So Ron Swanson's essentially the quintessential American man.
Here we go. Fingers crossed. This is it.
Happy Father's Day, Dad.
Cheers, son.
Mr. Offerman, you have a call.
This better be important. I'm having a drink with my father.
It is. There was a mix-up at the distillery and we made too much whiskey. Don't get more barrels to age it in. The whiskey will go waste.
Is everything okay, son?
It will be.
Mr. Offerman, how can I help you?
Do you have any empty barrels?
Sure, right over here. How many do you need?
All of them.
Hello?
The barrels are en route, sir. Every drop of whiskey will be safe.
How'd you do it?
Have you met me?
What took you so long? I already finished my drink.
I'll make it up to you. Next round's on me. Lagavulin Offerman Edition Guinness Cask Finish. A limited time father-son creation.
There you go. What do you think of that? Pretty far out. I must admit, I haven't watched Parks or Recreation, but that makes me want to now. Actually, makes me want to. Very good. Some of these adverts are getting very creative. I mean, they're a lot better than some of the adverts we've seen over the past year, aren't they?
They are indeed. Now this is let me just read this. It's a special release, so it's coming next month. It's coming at the start of June. And it's in and around £80 for the bottle. So it's Lagavulin, 11 years bourbon cask before being finished in a Guinness cask for 4 months. And it's from the Guinness Brewery in Open Gate, Maryland. And it said it's going to be sweet peat, intense peat, roasted coffee, chocolate caramel, that kind of thing. So it's that's one to look forward to, because we do like a stout and whiskey combo.
Yes, Michael Matthews is saying he likes to look at that show. Yes, it is. It gives you that encapsulates the show. It's a bit madcap, Parks and Recreations, isn't it? It
is. It's very funny. If you haven't watched it, you will enjoy it.
Is it one of these things that sort of it's a parody of a parody, takes the pee out of the West Wing a bit, sort of thing? They're a government department, but they're
yeah.
It's almost like Yes Minister, but the American version of it, isn't it?
It's like a bit like Yes Minister or The Office, or taking the piss out of that sort of formalized government stuff. It's very funny. It's very funny.
All right, very good. Okay, what's next on the news tonight, then, Marty?
Now, next on the news, I turn this over, is so this week we saw the launch of a new core expression from Dingle single malt. So this is why we have the Dingle out. And this is a core expression. This is what I think there needs to be more of in from the new distilleries. This is triple distilled. It's finished exclusively in first fill casks. 61% Pedro Jimenez sherry, 39% bourbon, bottled at 46.3%. No additional colouring, no chill filtering. So the taste notes say its nose is lime zest mint. Its flavour, on the palate, it's apples, vanilla, raisins, honey, sweet and mixed spice finish. Now it's priced at €55 or about £49. So it's not collectible. Okay, this is always going to be available. It's not cask number 1. And
It's not designed to be flipped or anything like that.
No.
There.
And it's nice to see these things coming out that you're not going to have to chase down. And if you don't get it within 8 minutes, you have to pay an extra £100 to get. So it's nice now that Dingle have got to that stage. Now, I know lots of the other distilleries will be doing this eventually. It's just Dingle really are at that stage already because they've been on the go now for 8 years. So, but it's nice to see these things start to roll out because
actually Michael Matthews is saying just opened a bottle of that, arrived yesterday.
Good. Is it good? I'll have to give it a try.
Okay. Yeah.
Now,
we've another debut today, haven't we?
Well, on the other side, we have the highly collectible Redbreast Dream Cask is coming very shortly. So this is now an annual release. So this one's going to be a 29-year-old Oloroso sherry pot still, obviously, limited to 924 bottles, cask number 400294, and it's hand selected by Billy Layton and Dave McCabe, the distiller in the blender down there. Now, obviously, this is highly sought after. This is about as collectible as you're going to get every year. So it's now being done by a lottery. So to enter the lottery, you have to go to redbreastwhiskey.com and register at the Birdhouse, as it's known, and enter the ballot. And if you're lucky enough, you'll have the privilege of paying €520 for this. ABV 51.2%. It's 4 special whiskies, so it's ex-bourbon, sherry, and ruby port, aged for a minimum of 29 years, then married together and finished for 15 months in Oloroso sherry.
I must admit, it looks very mysterious there, Marty, doesn't it?
Well, they've changed the packaging design, and they've done away with some of the other stuff that they did on the previous Dreamcast bottles. These are about as collectible as you're going to get. The original bottles came out; they were €500. They're now pushing about £2,000 a bottle, roughly at €2,000 thereabouts. And in a few years' time, if they keep doing the annual releases, which I would imagine they probably are going to, if you have a full set of these, they'll be worth an awful lot of money. So lots of people will be entering this, and I'm not going to tell people to become flippers, but if you this is a bottle you'll want to get your hands on, okay? Just put it like that.
What kind of money is it going to be at, Marty? Did you say there?
€520 a bottle.
Right.
But put it like this: if you can afford it as an investment, it's a good investment. If you wish to buy it and get it drunk, absolutely. I'm not advocating anybody buy it to flip it, but by the same token, I do know there's lots of people out there struggling financially at the minute. So it's hard for me to say anybody not to do something like that, but
okay.
it is a very highly sought after bottle of whiskey.
We're not Elon Musk. We're not trying to make Bitcoin go up, are we?
Back up, make it go up, then crash it, and then buy it more of it again.
I know. Who knows?
10% you wiped off it this week.
It was, yeah, it was. What's next tonight? It's we're having a giraffe. What are we on safari? Are we going on safari for our anniversary? We're going on safari for our anniversary. Tell me.
Edinburgh Zoo has got 4 Nubian giraffes coming. Ronnie and Arrow arrived from Woburn Safari Park on Tuesday, and they are joined by Finney and Gerald, who came from the West Midlands Safari Park. And there's another one to arrive this weekend. Now, that's the first time there's been giraffes at Edinburgh Zoo for 15 years. So the Royal Zoological Society of Scotland partnered with the Giraffe Conservation Foundation with Glenmorangie Single Malt. See, you didn't know where the whiskey was coming here, Justin.
I didn't, because I don't get this in the briefing notes. There you go. They look like giraffes' necks on those stills, don't they? Is that where they got the idea from?
Well, probably, yes. Glenmorangie is a very light sort of honeyed spirit, and the reason is they have these massive necks on the on their stills. They're nearly 17 foot tall. So what that does is when you boil that in the pot still, it goes up and up and up and up, and then a lot of it will come back down again as it cools. And it's that process of refluxing that takes away and gives it that very light flavour and taste. So that was where the tie-up between Glenmorangie and the giraffes came from. Now, it's said that there is going to be a live camera being put in there, so you don't have to, obviously you can't do lots of stuff and go and travel these days, but if you want to go and watch the giraffes, I think you're going to be able to very soon.
Have you ever seen David Attenborough on the giraffes? They really go at each other with their big long necks, beating the absolute crap out of each other, and they look so docile. I mean, I think we have giraffes in Belfast, Sue, and in Bellevue. I think we do.
Rothschild's giraffes up there. Rothschild's giraffe.
Very nice.
Yes.
You
ever see the one of the giraffes kicking the crap out of the lion? The lion trying to eat it, because they are big. I mean, they're massive.
They are big. I don't think we have the biggest giraffes there, but they are big. But I believe you've got an analogy as well this week as well, have you?
What do you mean analogy?
Analogy.
Is this our next story?
Yes.
Oh,
is it?
Well, yes. Now, folks, remember a few weeks ago I said that I had done the drug and alcohol responder training. So if anybody is having any issues with either of those, and genuinely, seriously, if anybody wants to get in touch with me, I'm not hard to find, message me or ring me or whatever, I did the training for it. So as I say, if anybody's having problems, but when we were doing the course, we did alcohol, we did heroin, cocaine, ecstasy, speed. No, but this is what was covered. We weren't sitting taking all these, okay? We weren't ingesting them. We were, ketamine, dihydrocodone. We were talking about temazepam, diazepam, all of this. But I don't think any of the training that we got would have helped Gwyneth Paltrow.
No, it wouldn't.
Gwyneth Paltrow said this week that because of quarantine, she was struggling. Now, I'm not making light of this, folks. This is a serious thing. She said, and I quote, "I was drinking 7 nights a week and making pasta and eating bread. I was totally off the rails." Now,
she was overdosing. She was overdosing on the carbs.
Don't be laughing about this, because I obviously didn't do the training for the spaghetti and the wheaten loaf. Now, folks, if you're having trouble with I don't know, tagliatelle or little Belfast baps or whatever, I haven't the training to help you out in that, I'm afraid. But Gwyneth said that she was she was drinking Buster Paltrow's, which she named after her grandfather, obviously. She was drinking a Tennessee whiskey made with Quiwa. You know that super cereal thing?
Yeah.
I'm not really sure what it is. And it was with maple syrup and lemon juice.
Is it Quinona? Is that what I would call it? Or is that
I think it's Quiwa or something.
Is it not Quinona? Really sure. Is it Quinona? Is it not the same?
It's spelled Quinoa. I think it's Quiwa or something.
It's Quinona. How do you say that? Hold on to the phone, the pronunciation department and extension 236.
Phone Gwyneth. Gwyneth will tell you. No, so Gwyneth was overdosing on the bread and spaghetti and stuff. So she was totally off the rails. I mean, I was watching a thing about the Rolling Stones I caught it a little bit earlier on there, and they're all being jailed for, they went to jail for puffing away and whatnot. But nothing compared to Gwyneth. Nothing.
Mark Kerr says it's Quinoa. Quina. We've got 3 different variations. We've got key black, we've got quinoa, and we've got quinoa.
Quinoa.
Oh boy, I love
put
it.
Like this. I don't think I've ever put it. I don't think one bit of it's ever passed my lips. But
no, I think I have had it. Is it not one of those wee white things? Is it not like what do you call it? Ainsley Harriott makes it. Couscous. It's not like couscous.
I don't know. You're asking the wrong boy. I literally could drop out the sky and I wouldn't know what it is. That's
all right. No idea. That's Gwyneth. That's Gwyneth put to bed. By the way, She was one of my favorite stories. She was one of my favorite stories this year.
But there's nothing we can do to help you, Gareth. There's nothing we can do to help you. Now,
yes, Mark, I am right. It's a bit like tapioca. I have had it then. Yes, I have had it. Yeah.
I must rush out and buy myself a lot of it. You know.
All right.
Snorting a lot of quinoa.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Please don't do that at home, folks. Now, another big story we want to put up. There was a Chinese trade fair that was this week that was represented. A lot of Irish whiskey was represented there, including our own James Doherty was not over, but he sent over the promo, and the Silky was launched or put over in China. So we have a wee promotional video. The James is getting on great guns now. The distillery's coming along well. You can go and check it out. You can go onto the website and see it and whatnot. And exciting times.
Yeah, take a look at this, folks.
Hi, I'm James Doherty. With my wife Moira, we founded Sleeve League Distillers, reclaiming the distilling heritage of Donegal and building the first legal whiskey distillery in the area for over 175 years. I'm the grandson of not one, but two illicit poaching men in a county once thought to have more illicit distillers than the rest of Ireland put together. Today, though, our passion is less clandestine. We have spent 20 years growing international brands for other people, and now we have the drive and the team to create world-class spirits here in Donegal. Not just the home of my parents, but also home to this rich, illicit distilling heritage. Donegal has always been inspiring for us, shaped by the wild Atlantic. It's beautiful, it's exhilarating, it's elemental even, and all the spirits are distinctive. They drink soft, they're beautifully designed, we deliberately challenge the existing taste or design codes, and we always celebrate Donegal. You could say that we will make Donegal the Isla of Ireland. Today we export to 27 countries with the Silky's authentic smoky Irish whiskey style, and we capture Dreoch na Farraga, the magic of the sea, with our savoury gin and Doulaman. The legendary Silky bridges from that traditional Ulster style of Irish whiskey to more emerging New World styles with just the merest hint of smoke, while dark Silky dials up the smoke level with a rich salted caramel sweetness overlaid with a peat smoke blanket. Our Silky Irish whiskies have been crowned Best in Class Blended Irish Whiskey 2021 at both the San Francisco World Spirit Competition and the World Whiskey Awards. And our award-winning Doulaman gin is our love letter from the Donegal coast. A London dry single-shot gin made with 11 botanicals, including 5 seaweeds, the shyest of which we harvest only on the lowest tides of a full moon. Unapologetically savoury, it makes a mighty martini and an offbeat mojito. We are Sleeve League Distillers from the mountain of flagstones in the far northwest of Ireland. And if you want something distinctively Irish for your portfolio, then we want to talk to you. Thank you.
So there you go. What do you think of that? That's a pretty good promo video compared to some of them we've seen this year.
Oh, it's absolutely great. And if the Chinese have any wet about them, they'll take that up, because it's the dark Silky. I just think it keeps getting better and better, if I'm honest. I liked it when I first tasted it. I thought it was very good, and it just keeps getting better. And I really look forward to what's going to, the end products is going to be coming out of Sleeve League. You know?
Julie and Mark are both saying, stunning area and lovely whiskey. It is a stunning area. So we hope to get out and about more this year, because we've only managed to get out and about twice in the lockdown, you know, what the lull in the middle, and just recently we've got out, and we do hope to get out and about. Remember, if you're watching, do comment, like, and share. Do tell your friends. Do tune in to the live show. Usually Saturdays at 10 p.m, but with a special edition this Friday at 8 p.m. UK and Ireland time. And also on Wednesdays, the podcast's out, and it's usually completely different. So if you ask your smart speaker to play the podcast, or wherever you get your podcast from, it's on all major platforms in the likes of India, Australia, and North America as well. Yes, there's a couple of people saying Frank Hearn's having a wee Silky tonight. And then Sean McClanahan saying, we're still locked down here in Toronto. Yes.
We're kind of, we're just coming out of it now, to be honest.
We know that. We know that with a regular viewer there in I think he's in Ottawa. No, Prince Edward Island he is in. Yeah, he doesn't always get to watch the live show, but he normally does message me to say he's watched it. And he says, they did Mother's Day early there, I think, because of the lockdown. And that Father's Day thing just made me think that for whatever reason, because Father's Day's the same time some countries, and Mother's Day's a different day, whatever way
Mother's Day's totally different, I think.
Yeah, it is. Something like that. So it gets quite complicated having to tick all the boxes. And we aren't sophisticated enough yet because we don't have the £22 million budget to put out different words at different times whenever we say things, you know. Not like CNN, we see a different advert in a different country. You know what I'm talking about here? So, very busy night. We're halfway through the night tonight. Remember, we're on Instagram and we're on LinkedIn as well. Irish Whiskey Review.
We're all over. We're going all over the place. Now, hopefully everybody finally got their samples of Bushmills rum cask. They were all sent out last week. There was a problem with a couple of the guys down south. They got bounced back to me, so I posted them on Tuesday. So I'm not. I think it was Connor and Peter there. They've been sent out. Whether they got there or not, I'm not sure. But we got them eventually sent out. So we'll get this poured, and we'll see what we think, and what other people think. Now, this is obviously the rum cask finish, and we'll just have a wee read what it says, because this is quite highly anticipated. Bushmills single malt finished in hand-selected Caribbean rum casks and blended with smooth triple distilled Irish grain whiskey for subtle fruit and dry spice flavours. And Helen Mulholland has her name on the front of it, 40%. Granted, it's licensed 1608, blah, blah, blah. Finished in hand-selected Caribbean rum casks. So, now, again, I said when Lauren was on that this is more of what I want to see coming from some of the big players. Different core expressions coming out. It's okay having the Causeway collection and having all of the different. It's
about being drinkable and affordable.
Not everybody can afford to buy a £290 bottle of whiskey, or not everybody's wanting to shell out for that. And if they do shell out for it, a lot of them aren't wanting to drink it. So I'm very pleased that Bushmills have done this. Again, it's in the same vein that Dingle are doing it. It's making it accessible for people. So rum cask, I do like a rum cask whiskey.
I've got this lovely handy card that you give me that tells me all the things I should look for, you see. I mean, Murray's the expert. I'm the layman here. Let us know what you think. Now, I like the idea of this.
Mm-hmm. Now,
it smells all right.
It smells all right. It's quite light. Which, so for some rum casks have a quite rich Muscovado sugary smell. You know that comes through, that almost the molasses and the treacle you get. But I mean, that's what the rum's coming through on. That's quite light for me, and I think there's the grain whiskey's beginning to pull a little bit of the rum cask finishing away for me there.
Some people were saying that this was going to be their go-to over Black Bush. Although some people said that they thought some of the other rum finishes were.
Well, put it like this: there's a little bit of mint there, a little bit of the barley coming through. Which,
Jesus, I must be getting good at this. You can actually. When you said the mint, I was thinking, is that mint? Have I ripped that mint up for that cocktail that we're going to do? Have I ripped it up? I haven't. There is mint off it.
Yeah, and there's almost like a fresh grass note to it as well, and that's, to me, is coming a bit too much from the grain whiskey with the sort of floral influence on the grain whiskies coming through there. Now on the palate, well, the first thing I notice is the mouthfeel. Mouthfeel a lot of the time is very underrated. Mouthfeel, as the name suggests, is how it feels in the mouth, and it's a bit like why people like chocolate, because it gives that nice oily, rich texture in the mouth. This is a bit too thin and watery. There's not enough body in that for me. In terms of taste, it's quite sweet. It's not sickly sweet, but it's coming through almost a little bit artificially sugar. It's like very light brown sugar.
I think the jury's out in this one. Stanley saying I think the rum cask is very good for £23 a bottle.
It is, but unfortunately, it has to be compared to that. And as Keith has quite rightly said, they're not in the same league.
The only trouble is, are you trying to compare a Ford Cougar with a Ford Capri? Because young bucks like the Ford Cougar, but a Ford Capri, I mean, it's a real car. I mean, Black Bush is a real whiskey.
So the thing is, Justin, you always have to compare these things. I did one of my whiskey reviews recently. I was talking about a single cask, and it's very hard to compare single casks with other, unless you're comparing it with another single cask, because that's really what it's designed for. But for me, the nose of that's quite light. The body of it's quite light. The taste coming through on it, it's a little sweet, but it's sort of watery sweet. It's like a very light sugar syrup. There's again those sort of floral, grassy taste to it. A little bit of apple and that kind of thing. This is £23-24 a bottle, whatever it is. So it's not expensive, and I know some people like this, but for me, it's just not hitting the mark for me, if I'm honest. No, yes, no.
It's not bad. I mean, I like the idea. I like the idea.
It's not bad.
I haven't tried any of the other competitors' rum finish, so I like to compare like we like, a bit like you. You need to compare like we like. It's not bad. I don't mind it. I don't mind it either. But who was it said? It's Keith McCann says there. I think it's fairly average, and I think he's 100% right. I would agree. Yeah. It's if you're putting it up against its older brother, Black Bush. This goes back to your podcast, which is coming out this Wednesday, about the nose and the finish.
Yeah,
the nose in this, you think it's got it when you nose it. You think it's got it when you nose it, but on the finish is where it falls at the last hurdle, I think, maybe.
Well, I think because it doesn't have the body and it doesn't have the oils that it's coming off, the finish disappears really, really quick, and there's no
good as a mixture. Good as a mixture with something, you think, Marty, at that price?
We'll put it like this: you would be able to do something with it. Maybe I wouldn't necessarily.
Yeah. I've even got my straws. I couldn't get any umbrellas, but I've even got my straws for my cocktail, which we're going to do to celebrate our anniversary, because I got to choose what the show was about tonight, folks. That's the bad news.
No, it's
the more that gets the air about it, the nicer it smells.
It doesn't have much of a finish. It doesn't have much of a body. It's not unpleasant, don't get me wrong, but it's not ticking too many boxes for me, if I'm honest.
Right. Okay. Well, thanks again to Bushmills for sending that out to us, because I mean, the reviews are honest. They're not bought and paid for, but they could be. No, they aren't.
Oh yes.
No, they aren't.
No, but the thing is, I mean, it's not for everybody, and it's not meant to be the best whiskey in the world. I mean, it's
We're
25
the
pound
whiskey
bottle.
equivalent of GB News.
Don't say that. Don't say that. Don't say that.
Right. There we go. Listen, there you go. Thanks very much for that. Excellent stuff. Try it and see for yourself. See what you think. That's the best way to do it.
Now, what are we doing next, Justin?
I don't know.
Hang on.
What are you doing?
Happy birthday to you. Do, 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 do.
I wondered, do we do the risk assessment for this? It's about 15 pages long on television. Do you know that? Look at that there. Look at that there. I got a chocolate one. You look like you've got a lemon one.
A lemon curd Swiss roll. I'm not a big cake eater, so I didn't want to spend a big lot of money on a cake, because normally probably what will happen to this is the ducks will get it tomorrow. But there we go. Lemon Swiss roll. Blow out the candle. Make a wish. There we go.
There you go. I'm actually going to eat this myself. The ducks aren't going to get mine.
No, the ducks will probably get mine tomorrow whenever we record Duckle Vision, my other drunken broadcaster.
No, I thought I'd put together a thing, and I thought I'd actually show our actual best bits, but with too many best bits, because as Magic says, he says, "Hello everyone. I have been catching up with the channel for the last few weeks. Absolutely enjoying every bit. Happy anniversary from a wee Pole living in Newton Abbey. All right. P.S. Pronounce my name Magic." That's a great name. That's a magic name. I love Poland. I spent 21 days in Poland there, November 2019, and I had euphoria 15 times. Now, I'm not being funny here. I don't want to know. Do you know when a wee child goes to Disneyland and they have like, euphoria moments like that there? I had euphoria 15 times. Now, my mate has been to Poland about 15 times, right? And I now know why he likes Poland so much. I'm not just saying that, by the way, because I've never been to Canada. And my other mate said he didn't like Canada, but no offense, Canadians, but you know what I mean.
Justin, I think there's people probably wondering in the back of their head what exactly caused the euphoric moments. I'm not so sure we need to know.
It was just such a nice place. It was such a nice place. Absolutely such a nice place. So there you go. Something good to come out of COVID. Yes, we've been doing this a year, folks. If you've only just tuned into the show, it's averaging over 3,000 people every week on Facebook. It's getting the numbers up on YouTube. It's on Instagram. It's on LinkedIn as well. You can ask your smart speaker or the podcasts, wherever you get them to play it. It is good. It is good.
And they're all legit. Our viewers are not make believe workshop people in India or wherever it happened to be.
Well, listen, I had to do a sizzle of the best bits. So here come the best bits, and then I'm going to talk you through them. I'm going to have to talk you through them because there's far too many of them, and we've only got 15 minutes left in the show tonight, and we've got to make a special sort of cocktail. It's called a julep, right? And it's dedicated to our favorite viewer, Julie. It's called a julep. It's called a julep. There you go. And we're going to here's the sizzle tape. Have a look at this. Have a look at this. Here we go. Sorry. Marty hasn't actually seen any of that before. He hasn't seen any of that.
He's all Indiana Jones.
I know. Well, I wanted
It's
to
me
make
and you sat here talking passion.
I know. But I know. But I wanted to get that out of the way. Listen, we better run through this because we don't want to overrun tonight because it's been a very busy week for both of us. I know. But listen, top 10 things that I had experienced over the year. Now, I've done quite most things in my life already. I mean, when people say, "Have you tried quinoa?" I'm not joking when I have. I've tried most things. I mean, I had Filipino food today, but I've had Filipino food a couple of times before, and it was excellent Filipino food we had in Larne.
Justin treated me to lunch today as a sort of celebration for the anniversary.
Yes. In Larne, in a place called Steady Eddie's in Larne, and I must admit, it's one of the best Asian places you'll go to, and very cheap, very affordable, and it's in Larne, and I love Larne. Marty isn't too fussed in Larne, even though everybody knows him in Larne, but I actually quite like Larne. But there you go. Where do I find all these things to upload them tonight? Can I find them to upload them? Hold on to find them to upload them because I've got that many things tonight. I have to put them all together to upload them. So the first thing that struck me tonight was that we got out and about when the first lockdown was lifted. The first time we managed to get out and about, remember, we went up to the Slemish Market Supper Club. And I must admit, they're opening up again soon. And the Slemish Market Supper Club has to be one of my favourite in the top 10. It has to be. The food there was second to none. The food was absolutely superb. It was incredible.
You stole my dulse.
Yeah, I stole your.
I was going to say you stole my.
Stole your dulse.
I see your wee hand come in as I was talking to Rob, and you just took my dulse away from me. Yeah. I remember thinking, I'd love to stab him in the hand here. But I wanted to be sort of professional.
You couldn't, and this is like a beef sort of sandwich with two types of whiskey in it. It was unbelievable. This guy, Slemish Supper Club, definitely.
Rob Curley, Chef Rob Curley is amazing. He's unbelievable. Honestly, I've tasted his food a lot of times, and when he gets to do what he does and gets the proper ingredients and does, it's just fabulous.
It is indeed. Now, the second thing I'd like to talk about was this guy. Now, all the guests, we're going to thank all the guests as well, but this guy in particular, we had him on our show, and then he had us on his show, St. Patrick's Day show, and Marty actually went up Slemish and dressed up as a I won't play it now because other people will think it's St. Patrick's Day. Marty actually dressed up as a leprechaun, which I thought was absolutely fantastic, and he was well up for it.
but like, what did you say to me? What did you say to me whenever we were having lunch today? He says that would be one of my highlights because I didn't have to clip Slemish.
Yeah, it would have been. There's Johan Strand saying, "Here we go again. Sandwiches off to the kitchen." You always get the nibbles when you're having a wee drinky poo. I know that. I've got popcorn waiting for me downstairs tonight because I've got to watch the Giro d'Italia tonight. That's my exercise for today. Over once I watch it. Now, the third thing that I'd like to put in the top 10 of what happened is, and I'm not going to play it, you can look it up, our very first show. It'll be on YouTube and it's on Facebook as well. Our very first show, because tell them how this show came about, Marty.
Right, I've been dabbling about in whiskey and writing for the papers and stuff about whiskey for a few years now. And I'd always sort of wanted to do YouTube or do some of this kind of stuff. And I don't know anything about the tech. I really don't. And if I'm honest, it just bores me. I just can't. I try to get into it. And Justin's forever oh, this sounds like over my head. Not interested, really. And then Justin phoned me up and he says, "It's World Whiskey Day today. Do you know that?" And I said, "Well, of course I know that." And he said, "Well, do you want to do a broadcast about whiskey?" And I said, yeah, no problem. When? And he said, bear in mind, this was about 8:45. And he says, "Would 10 o'clock be okay?" And that was the first show we did. And it was just a laugh and a giggle. And Yeah, that's kind of how it all kicked off.
Yeah. If you look at this very carefully, can you see it? Hold on. I don't think you can see it. Can you? I'll put it to the end here, right? Maybe it goes to the end. There, it's gone to the end. Solo on. It says written by off the cuff. There you go. And if you notice about this, it says costume designer is Marty, because if you haven't noticed, Marty wears the same clothes every week for continuity. Whereas if you actually notice, I intentionally wear different clothes every week, but you probably haven't noticed this at all.
I mean, we want to see the hat again.
Yeah, the hat's downstairs, but I can't put the hat on because otherwise you don't have the halo effect on my head from the studio lighting that's cooking me tonight for some reason. So listen, we've got about 10 minutes left. We've got to thank all the guests.
All the guests
were great. All the viewers as well. And there
there's been guys. I mean, the likes of Mark and Julie and James and Big Dave down in Dingle and stuff. Shane Foley and Parry Mully. All you guys who watch it every week, and honestly, it's really quite touching whenever you say you enjoy the thing, because me and Justin have a laugh and a giggle, and we try to keep it as much sort of fun as, because there's far too much.
Yeah,
people going on and just talking about whiskey, and I'd rather, at some point, I'd rather talk about Gwyneth Paltrow and Queenwa and her syndic handles.
But it is directly related to whiskey.
Well, we try and keep it about whiskey, but no, it's we try and keep it as much fun as possible.
Yeah, I know. And we also have to thank the hand gel people as well. The hand gel people as well would be the people that we'd most like to thank, because basically a lot of people did an awful lot of good work when it came to keeping us all safe during lockdown, and that basically saved the day in many cases, because a lot of the whiskey distillers turned over to hand gel.
Yeah,
now,
and I mean, one of the things was what they did was they brought down the price of it. I mean, because people were going to have to buy it and they were being charged. I mean, Jarlath was on one night and he was saying they were charging £75 a litre or something for it at a point. And Eglinville got onto it and dropped it. By the time they'd done like a week, they had dropped it from £75. It was like £20 or something. I can't remember the exact figures. But I mean, all this matters, it matters.
Yeah. And then, of course, there was the fake backdrop. If I can find the fake backdrop, can I find the fake? This is the fake backdrop.
That was funny.
We were in another show, right? We were in another show, and we actually put this fake backdrop up, and somebody says, in all honesty, that's some fantastic whiskey collection you have there. Just
and they're dropped off the chair.
And Marty near dropped off the chair. So that was in the top 10 highlights of the year, but you didn't see it. It was a whiskey thing we were in. And then one more thing, there was a coughing guest who tried to catch us out, but I've been 25 years in broadcasting, and you need to get up very early in the morning to catch me out. Actually, it's only the second time somebody tried to catch me out. I'm not like good morning, Ulster.
You've been doing all that radio stuff for how long have you been doing that now?
Since 1997, so quite a while. Quite a while. So that was it. So in the last 5 minutes, my number one thing has to be this. Has to be this. And it is this. There you go. It's these things. Cocktails. Cocktails. I love cocktails. And I've convinced Marty to do a cocktail this week. And I'm not joking. It takes 2 hours to prepare this cocktail, doesn't it? Because you have to go to Asda to get the ingredients. The ingredients are like hen's teeth. We couldn't even get cocktail umbrellas. That's why we're on these things, right? So we have what is called an orange mint julep. And we're going to make it here now. We have all the bits and pieces to go. So
I shall move the Guinness out of the way for you, Justin. Here, I'll just push the Guinness to the side.
Yeah. So we have the zest from one orange. Okay. So we had to find oranges and we had to zest them, and then
boil it up.
Yeah, boil it up. Add half a cup of water to the boiling saucepan. Stir until half a cup of sugar is dissolved. Let cool, cover and chill for at least 2 hours. Strain and syrup into a small bowl. So you can imagine what Marty said whenever I said we're gonna make this cocktail. He thought, "Oh, no way!
Here we go.
Absolutely no way! Here we go! This is going to be absolutely terrible." If you want to make this cocktail yourself, this you can do it, okay? But we didn't want to give you advance notice because it's too much work out, okay? So there's where you go if you want to make it yourself. So I'm going to get it. So we have it all prepared.
I don't have it all prepared. I'm making it fresh, Justin.
So there we go. So there is. You're making it fresh.
I'm doing it now.
You're doing it now.
Well, I've made. Yeah. What's the point of making it an hour ago? You know, that's like we're buying the stuff in a tin.
Well, anyway,
like, what am I doing here? What am I doing?
Well, what you're doing here is for each cocktail, you need to muddle one piece of orange. Okay, so there's one piece of orange, right? So you muddle it, right?
What's muddle mean?
I don't know. It's something to do with Harry Potter. So you throw it in there like that, there, right? You muddle it in like that, there, right? You put in a small handful of mint sprigs. Okay, so there you go. Some mint
from
sprigs.
My garden, by the way. From my garden.
Yep. Some mint sprigs into it, right? Okay. Mint sprigs into it. Yep, they're from my garden too, which is a different house.
Thankfully.
And then we do 1 ounce of orange syrup, which I have already. This is the thing that took 2 hours to make. So there's 1 ounce. By the way, I don't do metric. I do ounces. So 1 ounce is like half of that. Oh, that's enough. That's enough.
All right. Okay.
That's enough. So put that in like that there. So, and then a few dashes of
bitters.
Or orange bitters. So only a wee drop of this, only a wee tiny drop. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the orange bitters in. This is by appointment to Her Majesty the Queen, by the way. So there you go. There you go. It is. And then you can put in a measure of whiskey. All right.
You told me bourbon, so I went with Maker's Mark because I like this the sort of sexy Maker's Mark thing. Right.
I thought you didn't like it too sweet, but
I don't like it too sweet. But I kind of Maker's Mark's okay. I don't mind it. I'm not a big bourbon fan. You know that. Right.
Okay.
So what do I put in this?
So put in 2 ounces of bourbon. Right. Okay.
Tell me when.
Enough. Right.
Right.
Nice. Yeah, a wee drop of ice in there. Yep. That's us, right?
Right.
And then give it
That's a way of faffing about for a drink. Sorry, God.
Wait. But yeah, but you have to do it right. You have to do it right. So there you go.
They have to shake it.
You have to shake it. Yeah.
Shake your body. This is like you in Poland.
No, I had a Caribbean iced tea in Poland actually a lot because they do them in Costa coffee shops or whatever, right? Okay,
right.
This should be a weekly feature, right?
No, it should. No, Darren, no, it shouldn't. Let's just we'll nip that in the bud. We're giving Justin 1 week, right? What do I do now?
And then you pour it out in the glass. Okay,
the whole heap or just through the wee strainer thing?
No, the whole heap. It's already been strained. The whole heap. Yeah, the whole heap.
Right. Hang on. Now this is contracted. I'm not going to get this half. That's going to go everywhere, and then I'm going to be stinking of bourbon. Shake your body. Ta-da!
And then what you need to do is you need to put in some cherries like that there. Cherries. It's not a drink unless it has cherries in it. Look at that there. There's cherries. Look at that there. Now that is a cocktail. Happy anniversary.
I do like a wee glass of cherry, I have to say. Now, shake.
What do you think of that? What do you think of that?
Did we give it a wee stir or not?
Mm-hmm. Actually, it's not too bad. Those bitters bring it down a bit. Hope you didn't put too much bitters in. It's actually not bad. Yeah, it's not bad.
Looking apart.
Mm-hmm. It does.
That's all right.
It's not.
I'll take a Guinness any day over it, but no. If it was about 35 degrees here, and you were lying out in the sun, dying in the sun, you could have that. Be all right, huh?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Very good. There you go. Frank's saying, thanks, guys, for a brilliant year. Many thanks to all the folks who shared their whiskey with us for tastings. Yes, thank you to them. Yeah, I've learned a lot and it broadened my drinking. Haven't got the cocktails yet. Looking forward to the next year. Yes, we're all set to go for the next year ahead. We have many fantastic podcasts already in the bag, and they're popping up on anywhere you get your podcast, or you can go to Anchor and get them, or Apple or Google, wherever, or even ask your smart speaker. They're already in the bag. We've got lots of great guests lined up already as well.
Again, the thing we try and do is we try and get, it's a whiskey show based in Ireland, okay? Because of we want Irish whiskey to be on the world stage. I don't want to just talk about Irish whiskey and come on and just talk about Irish whiskey all the time. So it's Irish whiskey themed, but that's why we want to try and talk to people in Japan and talk to people in America and people in England and, you know, the guys across the water in Scotland and stuff. So that's always the main aim. And I hope everybody enjoys the show. And I just say something, by the way, thanks to Justin, because I know how much stuff he does behind the scenes, putting all that stuff together. And it's, yeah. So thank you very much, Justin. Thank you.
I enjoyed doing it. Peter Gabriel says you would both feel miserably in a cocktail bar. Who do you think we are, Tom Cruise or something like that there?
But like us, the human league will not be singing about us.
Yeah. There you go. Patrick Mulkey saying YouTube reviews are a great review tool. Yes, go on YouTube, Irish Whiskey Review. Leave us a review there as well. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. That always helps.
Yeah. No, I sometimes do about 3 or 4 of those, record it more or less at once, and then I forget that I haven't done any for a week or 2 weeks or something. So I do try and keep updated. But the podcasts, the videos, I have to write for the Sunday Life and stuff.
And he bought a camera, and I now have to edit the bits together for his camera as well. Don't they? Your
don't know how it works.
I know. It's because it buffers and only does 15 minutes at once or something like that. There, listen. It's been great year. Here's to 2021, 22. Good night. Thanks for watching, everybody. Remember to comment, like, and share, because then Facebook will realize it's a whiskey show. It ticks all the boxes. It only goes out if you're over 18, because it says it's not made for children on YouTube. Remember that. And good night. Okay. Maybe you can book Gwyneth Paltrow to assist with the cocktails. I would love to book Gwyneth Paltrow to assist with the cocktails. Is she making a movie here at the minute? I doubt it.
No, I know me and you should be looking to see if Melinda Gates is about, because she's in for some divorce settlement, Justin.
I don't know who's who. Every Lone Ranger needs his Tonto. I don't know whether I'm Tonto or you're the Lone Ranger.
Oh, no.
That must be due with you wearing the mask last week. One fire is saying sláinte, and there you go. Orange Milk Julep. There you go. It's the Ulster Whiskey Show and Irish Whiskey Review. So there you go.
It's orange and green. It's orange and green as well.
Orange and green. That's what it's about. Great year, guys. Here's to many pours more. Sorry. Too many pours. Sorry, more. There you go. Thank you very much. All right. Good night. Take it easy.
All the best. Take care.